we are ready to start teaching you a drill that's going to help you with a whole big set of issues that a lot of you struggle with, and that is how you function your trail arm from the beginning of your golf swing to the end. Your trail wrist, your trail arm, and your trail shoulder can get you into a whole lot of trouble when you swing the golf club if you don't do it right. We're going to teach you the perfect functions of your trail arm so that you know how to get the club on plane in the slot, and you know how to use it down through the hitting area so you can transfer speed out through the club head into the golf ball like a stud or a studette. You get what I'm saying? But you're also going to get a little trip to Tempo Town with Jason and I, because we're going to help you with a drill that's going to help you establish really good tempo and get you tapped into your own internal beat. That's right.
That's right.
Everybody's got their own internal beat.
Everybody
right?
has their own beat. There's no such thing as two of the same tempos.
No, exactly right. So we're going to be helping you get that good 3-to-1 ratio, and we're going to help you start feeling what it's like to be able to move with fluidity in this simple little drill. Let's go for a ride. Oh yeah, Jace wanted me to remind you guys, we have a lot of you that are watching our videos right now that are not yet subscribed to the channel. Do us a giant favor. It helps us grow as a channel. It helps us grow as a community. Head down below, just a quick moment of your day, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification, and if you have any questions or comments on today's video, please feel free to post that up. I know a lot of keyboard warriors out there have a lot of important things to say, but keep it nice. We're a good, wholesome.
We're a good, wholesome community.
We are a good, wholesome community that likes to help people play golf, regardless of what your opinions are on this stuff. So if you like today's video, leave us some thumbs up. Now, without further ado, let's get into the right arm downswing drill. First order of business, we're gonna help you understand exactly what your trail arm function should be in your takeaway and your backswing. Now, if you've been following my stuff at all, you know that I love to break the golf swing down into threes. Like you see me talk about the slow zone, the acceleration zone, and the speed zone. You've seen me talk about the system of movements where you have your body as one system, you have your arms, and then you have your wrists. We're gonna be working on system 2 and system 3, learning those functions, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna link it back up to system number 1, and you're gonna start feeling what this is all about here. Now, Jace, when somebody's making a good takeaway and backswing, what should the primary functions of the trail arm be?
Primary functions of the trail arm, very simple. All it's gonna be doing, it's gonna be elevating, it's gonna be flexing.
That's it. The arm is not swinging or getting pushed across the body at all here or pulled away from the body. The arm is just simply elevating and flexing. If you just get that into your brain, your takeaway and your backswing become a whole lot easier. Now, also inside of that, the wrist is going to be doing a little bit of rotation and a little bit of wrist set. Those positions are going to be preset here in just a moment, and then you're going to learn exactly what the trail arm should be doing in the downswing. But I also want to talk to you about what your goal of today's drill is before you start turning up the gas. The goal is, if you watched the Ernie Els video, we saw that the hips were opened up a substantial amount when the hands and arms started to work down in front of the body and we had that club move through the slotted position. Your goal here is to get your right elbow in front of the belt loop that you have on the right side of your pants if you're a right-handed player. And you're also gonna be doing that with your hips open somewhere between 15 to 20 degrees or so. That's your goal of this drill. Now, when you do this, there's many different ways to get your trail elbow down into that position. And one way that we're gonna actually address here right away is the worst way possible. So let's go ahead and set our arm and load up to the top of the swing.
Okay.
So lift it up, flex it, set the wrist, turn. Now, the big key that a lot of you, or the big mistake that a lot of you make, is that you will tend to leave your shoulder and your arm linked to one another at the very start of the downswing, where you start to get your arm to move in this direction by tilting your shoulders back. That is a big time no-no. This is a very uncomfortable position. This is a position that's gonna start shallowing the swing plane out too much. It's gonna force the low point to start to move back, and at that point, you're gonna start to become a whole lot more flippy and scoopy. So I want you to remember that, go ahead and come out of that for me.
Okay.
What I want you to remember is that that function that Jace demonstrated at the start is independent from shoulder rotation or torso rotation, and independent from what the hips are doing. So you want to think about what the arm did to get to this position and doing the exact opposite. You want the arm to start to lower, and it's going to start to lose some of its flexion. You can see that he kept his shoulders right where they were. So the first thing I want you to do is I want you to stand up. I want you to hold your trail arm right out in front of your body. I want you to flex your trail arm to 80 or 90 degrees here. I want you to set your wrist, and I want you to turn your palm up towards the sky here, okay? And then I want you to go into your golf posture, and I just want you to turn. I want you to shift and turn your body into your trail side. Now, from here, what you're gonna do is you're gonna keep your elbow pointed down at the ground, and you're just gonna lower your arms straight down into your side. You can let some of that flexion come out. I just want you to lower it up and down here for a second. That movement is what you need to focus on. Now what I want you to do is I want you to start thinking about shifting your hips over to your lead side and start to open up that left hip slowly, okay? So the opening that left hip is gonna move the arm way down in there deep. There you go, perfect. Now, if you look at this position, Jace kind of looks like he's a crab, like on top of the golf ball, right? We can see that his hips are open. We can see that his shoulders are fairly level. There's some tilt, we need some of it, but we can see that his trail arm is way down in front of his body. Guess what that means? That means we are set up with tons and tons of lag here. We are ready to start firing the club through the hitting area. So you're gonna learn those functions first. So I want you to start out by doing several reps just like we're gonna walk you through now. So again, stand up vertically, hold your trail arm out in front of you, flex it, rotate the wrist and forearm slightly, golf posture, pump the arm up and down just to feel this. Keep the shoulders really quiet and the hips really quiet. Now when you go up to the top, start shifting and open the hips up and bring that elbow down in front. That right there is the drill, coupled back with a release that you're gonna learn here in just a moment. Step number 2, grab your favorite 7 or 8 iron, if you have a favorite one, and I want you to flip this club upside down, and you're gonna have the grip end down. Put a tee in the ground. This is gonna be a reference point, and you're gonna use this as we start to put the tempo to it as we get further into the drill. You're gonna go through the exact same protocol now that you have the club in your hands. You're gonna start getting comfortable feeling this in your hands. So go ahead and take your setup, elevate your arm, flex it, good. Little wrist and forearm rotation, good. Keep that arm there, good. Now start moving the arm up and down. Okay, that movement is very independent from what the shoulders and the hips are doing. Okay, once it gets back up to the top here on this next one, start shifting, good. Right elbow down in front of that belt loop. That's your reference point with that left hip opening up somewhere between 15 to 20 degrees. This is where you're gonna be letting things fly. This is where all that snap is gonna come out of the club head. Now, what a lot of you are gonna find is that you're gonna actually start to see the golf club, if you were looking at it from a mirror or a camera from a down the line perspective, you're gonna see the club shaft going right through the middle of the forearm. That's the slotted position. The slot is one of those positions that it's a result of the movements. And a lot of you search to try to find it, but it's actually very easy to find if you learn that, hey, I need my arm to work independently from my shoulders. I need my upper body to feel like it's staying wound, and I need my hips to pull my arm down into this position. That's the key to your success here. So let's go through it again. Okay, good, good, awesome. One more time. Good. Arms working independent. Now link it back up with the hips. Now, when you come down into this position, if it's not right, fix it. Make sure that you do a handful of reps here. Try to do 10, 15, 20 reps that are perfect landing in this spot before you start working on the next step. When you can do this, now you're ready to start turning up the gas and start working on the release and the timing of the release. And this is where the fun starts to happen. Third and final step. This is where we start turning up the gas. This is where we have to do this responsibly and make sure that when you are working through this protocol, that it's not just a movement that you're doing as like a workout program. You want to go out there and make sure that you get connected to these movements, you meet the checkpoints that we outlined for you, and then start turning up the gas slowly. Not every single drill that lives on the internet is a drill that's designed for you at this very moment, but I can tell you this right now, that every single one of you can benefit and simplify how your trail arm and shoulder function from the minute you start taking the club up to the top of the swing into delivery, and this is going to help you solve a lot of issues. Now, Jace, let's go ahead and start picking up the pace here. Okay. We're going to do this now with the club flipped upside down, and we're going to start creating some whoosh sounds. And we're going to talk about the tempo aspect of this. So going to preset the arm. Now what we're going to do is we're going to start doing this all as one big unit on the way down. We're going to start shifting, getting that elbow, and we're going to start trying to get the club to make this really loud whoosh sound down here where the tee is. And once you start getting that whoosh sound to happen down here, then what you're going to do is you're going to move quickly back up to the top of the swing and do another rep. So go ahead, Jace. Okay, good. Now back up to the top fast. Good. You hit the tee right out of the ground there. That was perfect. Now, the reason why I want you to move fast up to the top of the backswing is because, number one, it's fresh in your brain where you just worked from. But number two, think about tempo. Tempo is generally measured with all of the best players in the world at a 3-to-1 ratio. Your backswing is going to take 3 times as long as your downswing. And a lot of you at home think that that's going to be way more slow than what it really is. the golf swing is happening really quickly. Whether you are a fast internal beat or you're a slow internal beat, you need to think about getting the club back up to the top quickly, but without making any whoosh sound out of it. If you do that, now you're starting to actually dial in to your internal beat, and you're gonna be out there thinking, okay, I don't even need to think about tempo anymore. Now I can just think about these functions of the arms, sync it up with my body, and I'm a much happier golfer.
Absolutely.
Now, Jace, let's do one more set.
Okay.
Okay, and then we're gonna flip the club over, and we're gonna start doing it with both hands on it.
Okay. We're gonna elevate, flex, a little bit of wrist extension. Feel that drop.
Back up to the top quickly. Good, perfect rep. Good. So you can do a couple reps right after that just to get connected to it. Once you feel like you're doing that properly, I would suggest that you back check this stuff on camera, face on and down the line. Look at it. See, are your hips opened up by the time your arm works down in front of your belt loop? From face on, is your arm fully getting in front of your belt loop without having gigantic amounts of tilt? You will have some tilt, but you want to feel like that shoulder stays up there while you're working your way over to your lead side. If you can do that proficiently, now we can start turning up the gas here, flip the club over, and start making this a real golf swing.
So same feeling here. Elevate, flex.
Good.
Feel 2 little drops there, just getting the motion.
Okay. Good.
When I'm feeling there, I'm still feeling that whoosh down at the tee.
Good.
And then once you feel comfortable.
Nice. Okay. Feel connected to it, then you can reward yourself and hit a golf shot. If you don't feel connected to it, go back through the protocol. Don't just sit out here and rifle golf balls. So let's do a 1-to-1 now.
Okay.
Woo-wee. Oh, sweet. There you have it. That's the drill. Go out there and start learning how to get your trail arm to function properly from the minute it starts going back. Start to feel those positions. Get connected to what your arm and your wrist are doing. From the top down, make sure that you understand what it should be doing to get down in front of your body. Do this very slow and concentrated at first. As you start to get really proficient with it, start picking up the pace, add some athleticism to it and some fluidity, and start trying to dial in your tempo just like we outlined, and you're gonna find yourself a much happier golfer that's gonna have better positions. You're gonna be on plane, you're gonna be able to see the slot once and for all, and you'll be able to play better golf. I think that's a home run. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Now, let's get out there, start playing some better golf. We'll see you in the next video.